This is JHouze Radio, episode 97. Yes, I'm giving you the sexy radio voice here. I am your amazing co-host, KJ, back with the wise man on the mountain, Los. Today, guys, we're
Aloha.
going to be talking Aloha. We're going to be talking about a few things today. We're going to react to the Joker trailer, which just recently came out. Also, the Deadpool trailer, and I have a lot of thoughts on that one. Quick conversation also about Steven Spielberg and his next possibly final film, going back to something alien related, which is going to be interesting. And then we're going to do a retro perspective of, well, kind of like a retro review of the Iron Man film, the original Iron Man film, which was like the beginning of the MCU that we have today. So that's going to be interesting to talk about. Other than that, Los, we haven't done this in a while. Do you have any PWLs? What anything that you're playing, watching, or listening to?
I started playing Spider-Man 2. Um,
Nice. Okay. Okay.
I realized that I am super rusty in my web swinging, but the game is fun. It just took me a little while to get back into the combat of it, and
Okay.
it's a huge difference between Peter and Miles. Like huge difference in their combat. I feel.
Yeah.
Um, but I was playing Miles all the way, but then he started doing stuff in his school, and I was like, ugh. I'll put it away. I was
Yeah.
one time I'll go back to Peter.
Yeah.
It was fun,
I.
like helping out that one couple, but now you got to help out some club and take pictures
Yeah.
of people gaming. And I was like, and chase a drone around the school. I was like, no, I ain't doing that mission.
Like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. The game does start off a little slow. Like I will admit that. I started Spider-Man 2. I'm not done with it. I think I might be about halfway through with it right now. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 does start off pretty slow. Honestly, I'll definitely admit that. So
Yeah. What I'm watching is Star Trek Discovery.
okay, nice.
It's the last season for Star Trek Discovery. It's been better than I thought, but not as good as the other shows.
Mm,
Um, and not really listening to anything other than house music. And
okay.
there's no particular artist I've been really listening to other than Roger Sanchez, his mixes. I was listening to James Hype for a little while, but I was like, ah, it's too much fucking. He's too much. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Also, well, I'm actually playing Mario Wonder. Just started getting back into that very recently again for the Switch. Have you heard of Mario Wonder or played it or seen it?
No, never even heard of it.
Um, it's pretty fun. It's a wacky Mario game. I think it's up to 4 players that you can play. And you go through these certain levels of the game where, like, you're doing regular Mario stuff. You can transform to different things, like elephants, for example, so on and so forth. And you pretty much tag team with each other to get through all these levels. And there's certain parts where the board just gets wacky when you collect a certain acorn or something like that, and then you got things flying at you. You got water trying to drown you, and like so on and so forth. The wind's pushing you up in the sky. You got to try not to die as you're flying in the sky. It gets crazy. It's almost as if, like, if you were to take Mario Party and a traditional Mario game, um, and just kind of mush it together into like a Mario. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's a wacky Mario game. It's really wacky, and I feel like the more people you play with, the wackier it gets.
What?
Um,
What? The Switch or
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on the Switch. It's on
okay?
the Switch. But yeah, it's pretty fun. And it can get very challenging, but I'm liking it so far. What I'm watching, I just recently saw Civil War, the film with Kirsten Dunst, who's an American journalist. As
Oh
she
yeah,
races.
how was that movie?
Um, it was okay. Honestly, I thought it was all right. I feel like the movie has an interesting premise, but I think the way it ends, without giving away spoilers, it's like I looked at it like, okay, we went through all of that just to have it end like this, and like that, like that was it. It ended very abruptly, and it was just over. There was no kind of like really good conclusion to the story, if that even makes any sense. I'm trying not
But
to spoil it,
was the war along political lines? Was it along cultural lines?
but that's the thing. It's like I mean, I think it was a little bit more on political lines, honestly. You get the idea that it's because of that. It's like it's a political type of war, but you still don't really get a gist of like why it's happening, what's going on. How did it start? It's almost as if like you're just dropped right into the middle of the war with very little information. That's kind of what it felt like throughout the entire movie. It was just like each scene was just like a vignette of just different things happening and didn't really feel like there was any kind of like progress throughout the film. It just felt like here's a new scene, this happened. Here's a new scene, that cool thing happened. Here's a new scene, that cool thing happened. Or like, all right, where are we going with this though? What are we doing here? Like that's kind of what it felt like. You know, um
One other question about the film: is it based around today's politics? Where you have uh, a, a controversial Republican leader and a controversial Democratic leader, or is it, or is that not really mentioned in the movie?
um vaguely I would say it's probably on a line of today's issues that we have with the government today. It's very similar.
Okay,
It's very similar. I think Kirsten Dunst did an amazing job. Once again, this is an A24 film, which I love that studio. That studio's cranking out films left and right.
yeah,
Like that studio never sleeps. Um Cinematography wise, this film might actually win an award.
okay,
There is That's not mentioned. Oh, my name said that's not mentioned. It's not mentioned in the film that the political stuff, but it's emphasized, if that makes any
slide.
sense. Yeah, implied. That's what I meant to say. Well, in my opinion, I think it's implied. Like you can tell by the things that the characters are talking about in the film. Um, you can tell why they're doing what they're doing, why the war was like happening, why everything broke out the way it did. But yeah, like I said, they didn't explicitly come out and say, "Hey, this is happening because of this." You kind of have to like piece
Read
together.
between the lines.
Yeah, you kind of like read between the lines and just piece together what's going on. Like, oh, all right, I guess this could be happening because the president was a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Okay,
you kind of gotta come up with your own scenario in that regard. But yeah, like I said, as far as like cinematography, it was amazing. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful nightmare. Honestly, you do get a deep dive into the horrific world of a war journalist because that's basically what she is. She's been a war journalist for most of her life, and this really gave me a interesting perspective on that lifestyle, that career. You literally sit there and you take pictures of people in their toughest times of their life, and you can't flinch. You just go for that shot. You go for the perfect shot, and you have to almost have a cold heart in the sense of like you can't be phased by what's happening. You just have to worry about getting that shot. So they really portray that very well. There's even a scene um, where they light a man on fire. But the way they did it in the film, you feel like they literally lit that actress on fire. Like I don't know how they pulled that off with special effects or whatever the case may be, but I was watching that and I felt like I was really watching that for real. You know what I mean? It was just the cinematography was great. I think that's the one thing that probably carried the film for me. If it wasn't for that, I would probably give that film like a 1 out of 5 chocolate bunnies. But because of the cinematography, I give it a 2.5 chocolate bunnies.
and that's one of the films that I was looking at and I was thinking of watching, but I was like, I get bombarded with so much political stuff on like all my social media that I'm like, maybe I don't want to watch a movie that kind of has that. But you make me think that
Yeah.
maybe I should watch it.
I th- I think it's stream it, not flick it.
Okay.
I think yeah, I think it's a stream it. I would wait for it to come to a streaming platform, check it out there because like I said, I mean, this is obviously of course guys, this is just my opinion. I just think the way that it ended, it just really made me say it really kind of took me out of the film. Like everything that we went through was for what? Especially the final climax. Like the last 15 minutes of that film is so intense. And it just gets your adrenaline pumping. Like, oh man, like they're about to do this, something's about to go down. And then when it ends, you're like, that's it? What was that for? Like, why'd you have that big like climax at the end just to like say, okay, film's over. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Oh,
I
that kind of
really
stinks.
it does. It does. I don't know if you saw that Netflix film that came out recently. Jeez. The one where the people were like stuck in a house and the world was coming to an end or something like that.
No, I didn't
Oh,
see that.
crap. I can't even think of the name of it. In chat probably knows what I'm talking about. What's the name of that movie? But that movie ended like that as well. I don't like when films do that. I feel like they start off strong, they have a good premise, they have a few good scenes here and there, and then when you get to like that final scene, you know, you're just like, what was the point of all this? And like it's just so lackluster. It just really just kills your vibe for the entire movie. That's kind of what this one felt like,
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, Civil War, I think it's a stream and not flick it, and I give it a 2.5 chocolate bunnies on it. I mean,
All right.
2.5 out of 5 chocolate bunnies.
So moving on.
Mm.
Um, what'd you think of the Joker trailer?
Um, I have feelings on it only because, I will say this: I was a little worried about the Joker trailer. I mean, about the Joker film in general because we all got these rumors that the Joker was going to be a basically like a Broadway play, is what everybody was calling it. Um, but after watching the trailer, I have a little bit more confidence that that's not what it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be one of those films. Yes, it will have some singing moments in it, which we still don't really understand how that's going to work for the film. Um, but I don't think it's like full on musical because that's the one thing that kind of really terrified me when I heard about the Joker is that it was going to be a musical. So I think the trailer kind of shows that it's going to have musical elements, but my question is, how is that going to work in a Joker film? Is it going to make sense? I think that's my main question.
I thought the trailer was so bad I couldn't even watch all of it.
Oh no, you didn't finish it?
No, I got up to the part where they were like on stage or whatever. Looks like they were dancing, and I was like, "Click next."
Oh,
I
man.
thought it was absolutely terrible.
I don't blame
And
you.
you know what? And I don't. And it wasn't the actors. It felt like the story was nonsense. It felt like, first of all, I thought there was no real chemistry between Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I felt there was no chemistry, and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this one either, and I just shut that window.
It just looks okay, honestly. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not crazy about the musical stuff, but I feel like the musical scenes are just gonna be like stuff that's in his head, just like the original. He might
Yeah,
just be thinking about those things. You know. So um all right. Well, speaking of trailers, let's jump into our next trailer reaction, and that's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine. And I might have a unpopular opinion on this one, but I felt the same way about this trailer.
um, I understand why you think that.
Okay.
I No, I do. I honestly do. It's one of those things where like somebody talks about it so much that you've built it up in your head, and when you finally see it, you're like, oh. It's like when you have a
Yeah,
buddy of yours
yeah.
that's like, oh, I met this chick, she's super hot and blah blah blah. She's like a 12 on a 10 scale, and you see her and she's like a 5, and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. She makes you happy. um, I will say I did like the fact that they put a lot of interesting characters from the Fox X-Men universe in the film. Like the one character we couldn't figure out who he was in the first trailer, that was Pyro, the kid with the lighter. Remember?
Oh, wait, really? I gotta you know what? I'm about to pull it up right now again. Let me just double check
Yeah.
it. But that was
Uh,
Pyro?
yes, in
Interesting.
the first trailer. In the second trailer, you see like Calypso, you see like a whole bunch of other um different um X-Men, and you're like, "Oh wow, oh shit, wow, this is going to be interesting." You
Yeah.
know, what I am the most curious about of is how is this Wolverine a failure? How is this Wolverine the worst Wolverine out of all of them?
I
Because
was actually
that
thinking that, yeah.
I'm curious. Like, what could Wolverine have done? And
Well,
my thinking is he
mhm.
didn't kill the Phoenix.
Ooh,
He
maybe.
didn't kill Jean Grey.
Yeah, because this is Logan Wolverine that we're getting here. This is pre-Logan, I believe. Yeah, it's pre-Logan,
Yeah. Or an
obviously.
alternate that's pre Logan.
That's true. That's true too. But yeah, I was thinking that the whole time. I was wondering like what was because they really harp on that a lot in this trailer. That he's a failure, he messed up, he screwed up. So I'm really curious to see what is it that he did that's going to affect this film. I think this film has like an insane amount of like Easter eggs from other MCU films. We
And
randomly
cameos.
and cameos. Yeah, like we see a giant Ant-Man head, which was weird. I don't know what that was even about. Like it was just so random. Like why is there a giant Ant-Man head?
Okay.
You know?
Remember, they are in that world that gets banished. Remember in Loki when they hit you with the stick and then, you wound up
Oh
in another world?
yeah,
Guess where they're at?
yeah. I forgot the
There's
name
where
of that
they're at.
place. Yeah,
So that's
because you do see Eliath, the cloud,
yep.
the cloud lion or something like that. So yeah,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
And and the other thing is, um, damn, the thought just slipped out of my head. The bad guy. You know who the main bad guy is? The bald chick?
Yeah, so who is that? I meant to look her up. I completely forgot to look her up.
Professor Xavier's sister, twin sister.
Wow.
She
Interesting.
was a big villain in the comics. Big villain in the comics.
Interesting. Yeah, you
So
know what?
that's who the main bad guy is.
Because I saw that she was doing some kind of powers on Wolverine where she was just like knock him to the ground, hold him down to the ground. I was like, all right, is that like a Magneto type of power
No,
or what's
she's
telekinesis?
she's literally a mirror version of Charles of the professor. She's
Mm,
a telepath.
mm,
So I don't understand this moving powers, this magnetic powers or whatever, unless that's done through technology that she scavenged or she's using her mind to manipulate his mind to do that. But in the comics, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Quicksilver are the three characters that are almost immune to telepaths through their because of their healing factors, the fact that their mind works so fast, and things like that.
okay. And then I also found I don't know if you realize at the end when they're both jumping through like a hole, it's Doctor Strange's portal, which is so
Yes,
random, you know?
but here's the other thing: did you notice that they whited out where they were going? Because remember, through their sling ring, that's what it's called, and they open up portals. You get to see where they're going, but they
Oh yeah,
white
yeah, yeah.
so you can't tell where they're going.
That is true. That's true. I don't know. I got a feeling that this. I mean, I would say the trailer, even though we had some pretty cool, interesting cameos and some interesting like Easter eggs, all that was cool. I just think as an overall trailer, it was a little lackluster. I think the teaser was way better than the trailer. I think the teaser gave me an idea of like what I could be looking forward to a little more than the trailer did. I mean, yeah, the trailer just basically told us Wolverine's upset, he's down, he's sad, he did something, he let people down, and then we just got both of them cursing at each other. Okay, we know that we're gonna get that in the movie. I know that. I don't need a trailer to tell me that. But I felt like that's all that was. I felt like the trailer was a little lackluster. It's just like, hey, let's just throw together a bunch of shots to show you how much they're going to be cursing at each other and give you some cool nostalgic music. And all right, here's the real trailer. That
I
I,
think it is literally because we got the trailer, writer strike, and then we saw the footage of them, doing some kind of fight scene, the choreography.
Oh yeah, it
How
leaked.
long has that been played over and over and over and over again during the writer strike? Writer strike is over. Nothing really new and interesting is happening. We've been hearing about this forever. I just think it's just to the point where our brains are like, all right, fine, whatever. When is it coming out? Let's just get this over and done with. You know,
Yeah.
it's like going to a proctologist exam. You're like, oh, fuck. You know,
You know what? That's actually very true. That I think that's probably where I'm at right now because yeah, it does feel like we've been seeing this for so long. Wolverine yellow suit, Wolverine yellow suit, Wolverine yellow suit for so many months, and then like you said, yeah, now we're getting it, and I think I am kind of like, all right, I didn't really need a trailer, just give me the darn movie. I think that's kind of where I was at. You know,
I have a question for you, though. Why do you think Wolverine wears the yellow suit?
I was thinking that the entire time I watched the trailer.
I have a
Why is he
theory.
wearing it? Why is he wearing it now?
Well, no, I have a theory why he has the yellow suit. I don't have a theory why he's wearing it now. Now it's just because people want to see him in the suit.
Yeah,
But I think he wears the suit so people will pay attention to him and they'll attack him first because he has a healing factor and the rest of his team doesn't.
interesting.
So, just the same way Batman has a big yellow symbol in the middle of his chest,
Yeah.
so people would aim for that where he has his most armor.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I think that's why Wolverine wears yellow
Color.
because by nature, like the nature of the character, you'd think he'd wear like all earth tones and nature stuff because that's what he's into.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of think that's why. And I want to see the film, and I'm probably going to see it on opening day with Hacker. Um, but I'm not. I got more excited for Endgame than I did for this. I got more excited for Deadpool 1 and 2 than this one. And I think it's literally because it's such a long wait.
Yeah. Because it's not coming out to what this fall, right? I think.
Like June or something.
Oh, June, June, June. Okay.
You know
It's
what?
not that bad.
Let me look it up. Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think it
Uh,
might be June. Actually, you could be right.
July 26th.
Oh, jeez, even further away. July. Dang, July 26th at the end of the month. Jeez.
July 20. You know why, right?
Why?
So it doesn't compete with any 4th of July movies.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be something big coming out in July. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what, but there's a lot of big movies coming out this year. A lot of big movies.
a lot.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
You know,
it's
also, I noticed Azrael was in it. You know
Azrael.
who that
Who's
is?
that?
Yeah. Nightcrawler's father.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. I must
He
have
was
like
he
I
was in
missed it.
X-Men First Class. The red guy who would teleport.
I gotta look at it. Hold on. Red guy who would teleport.
Yeah, I think he was in X-Men First Class. Lady Deathstrike is there. Supposedly Toad is there. I didn't see him, but supposedly Toad is there.
Toad. Well, yeah, I didn't see Toad. Oh, I know who
Doctor
you're
Strange
talking
will be
about.
there. Yeah.
The red guy. Yeah. All right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay.
Dogpool is in the movie. Supposedly Lady Deadpool is going to be in the movie.
What? Get out of
Yeah.
here. How were they? How were they pulling it? Like, I feel like we're totally underestimating this movie. I feel like we are with everything that we're getting in this movie, with all the Easter eggs and all the random characters that could possibly pop up. We know Doctor Strange is probably going to be in it, possibly either Doctor
I
Strange
don't think so.
or
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
I think if you see Doctor Strange or if you see, oh God, what's the other guy? The Asian guy.
The Asian guy,
Yeah.
I forgot his name too.
God, I'm so glad I don't remember his character's name. Well, I feel like you're more likely to see their corpses than you are to see them.
Okay, okay, we'll see. Because like I don't know, I feel like this. I feel like I'm gonna underestimate this film, and I'm gonna really love it. I expect it to be good. I don't expect it to be like in game, you know, Infinity War, type film. But I expect it to be good, at least. funny,
I
entertaining.
For me, I feel like this is going to kick off the next stage of Marvel films,
I agree.
and it'll set the tone for the next stage of Marvel films.
I agree. 100%. 100%. So yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely see. I mean, if you're gonna go with Hacker, um, if I'm not doing nothing, I want to go with you guys.
You
So
should.
yeah, because when's the last time we all saw a movie together? Actually, I don't
Dude,
think I've ever saw a movie with you and Hacker. I
no, never.
don't think I have. Yeah.
I'm
So
curious if Loki's going to show up in this film.
I know, I know, because we do have the TVA in here. So
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if Loki is gonna make some kind of appearance. Is I don't know. The possibilities with this is going to be endless because of where this film is taking place. Honestly, it's going to be endless, and it also makes sense as to why I now understand why the 20th Century Fox logo
is
appears
there.
in the background. Yeah, because of the area that they're in. I keep forgetting the name of that place that they're in. But because of the area that they're in is basically the wasteland of all the garbage that the universe didn't want, basically.
Yeah,
So
that they pruned.
yeah,
That's what it's called in Loki. Pruned.
somebody pruned the 20th Century Fox.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Red Skull's car is there from Captain America.
I did see that. I did see that. I liked the, little, wording that was on Deadpool's gun when he pulled it up on, Logan. When he first pulled it up on him, it said "Smile for the Flash" or something like that.
I
Like
don't. You know what? I just saw the top one. I didn't read the bottom one.
yeah, I actually paused it, like, I paused it and looked at it. Yeah, I think it said "Smile, look for Flash" or something like that. It was freaking hilarious.
Probably said
Um,
wait for the Flash or something because that's how
yeah,
Deadpool.
yeah, that's what it was. Wait for the Flash, wait for the Flash. So, but yeah, it looks interesting. Can't wait for it. I mean, we'll see, man. July 26th, man. Hopefully it holds up and revitalizes the MCU because right now they need it. They need it.
Yeah,
And
desperately.
we're gonna s- we're gonna segue. Speaking of like the MCU, one of the things that I want to talk about before we get out of here today is I want to do a retrospective review on the original Iron Man film.
Wait. We're
Um,
not doing the Steven Spielberg stuff.
oh yeah. Okay. All right, well, you know what? We'll do that after Iron Man then,
Okay.
since yeah, we'll do it after Iron Man. Yeah, I want to do a retrospective of the Iron Man film. Can you believe that came out in 2008?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That feels like an eternity ago. Um, but yeah, it was literally the film that kicked off this MCU saga that we had. I still think that to this day, it's one of the best films in the MCU.
You
Um,
know, I don't.
you don't?
I don't. I think it's very middle of the road.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think the thing about Iron Man is it was unique to the time it came out, and to the time it came out, it was awesome, amazing, one of the best films of that time. But if you put it against all the other Marvel movies of that stage, you know, I think it
Yeah.
falls middle of the road. And I think
Okay.
Captain America, the first Captain America movie, is like goes to the bottom because I don't really think that movie was made very well.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
my whole and one of the things to me that ruins Iron Man is Terrence Howard, the
you think
original
so?
Rhodey. I
Why?
don't like him as an actor. Never
I thought
liked
he
him.
was okay. I thought he was okay.
No, I think Jeff Bridges playing the bad guy, he did an amazing job.
Oh yeah, I love Jeff Bridges as the bad guy. He killed it. He killed it.
Yeah.
Big up to that guy for sure.
You know what, the thing that upset me most in the MCU is they brought Coulson back for the Shield TV show, but they never brought him back into the movies.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't
When
know.
they
I don't know
brought
what that
back
was
the
about.
helicarrier, when they brought back the helicarrier, they should have brought back Coulson.
Yeah, I agree. I
Um,
agree.
the reason why they killed him off is because they needed some high stakes to unify the Avengers team to move forward. Remember, Coulson was in each and every Marvel movie till they killed him off. and he was
Yeah.
always one of these characters that all the heroes interacted with, and he had a decent relationship with them. Like he knew how to speak to them. Um, so when you killed him off, it unified the Avengers. First Avenger movies happened, awesome and wonderful. Um, but I wish they would have brought him back because he was such a interesting part of the first Iron Man movie. Like,
Yeah.
because at first you were very like, who is this guy? He's a government guy. He's a Fed. You're
Yeah.
not going to trust him. But then as the rest of the MCU goes, he's one of the characters you trusted the most.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I kinda wish that they didn't get rid of him because I always thought that about his character too, honestly. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
mean,
I hate
I thought it was.
Gwyneth Paltrow. I hate Gwyneth
Really?
Paltrow.
Why?
I don't know. I've never liked her in anything. And she does a great job as Pepper Potts, but I'm always looking at her and I'm like, they could have picked somebody better.
I thought Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert Downey Jr. I thought their connection in the film
Their
was, like,
chemistry.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was great, honestly. Like, them 2 on screen together, their, like, back and forth dialogue, their sarcasm, I freaking loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it.
But by
So,
Endgame, it wasn't there.
no. Yeah, I did notice that. Like, as time went on, it just kinda dwindled as they built their little, their little love relationship thing with each other. It kinda fell apart, which kinda
Yeah.
sucked, because I was like, I love that back and forth with them, you know what I mean? So, that was one thing that I kind of regret about them doing that, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Like
but,
the scene where she finds him trying on the suit, and he's like, "Let's face it, you've seen me in worse positions. I fucking love that."
exactly. I love it. I love it. I think that's literally the best chemistry they had was in the first Iron Man, to be honest. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I loved it. So if you had to go back and rate the original Iron Man with Chocolate Bunny score, what would you give it?
Uh, Better than middle of the road. So 3.5.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
And again, and it's not because of the film itself. It's because of where it lies, like quality wise. I feel like in the MCU,
Mhm.
I do feel like they leaned on on Iron Man character way too much in the series. You know, um, which I thought was a disservice to a lot of the characters. Um, but to me, it's like a 3.5, maybe a 3.75. Good film,
Okay.
watchable, rewatchable. It is a flick it and a stream it, but not my favorite.
Okay. I think for me, I think Chocolate Bunnies. I gotta give it. I gotta give it a 4 out of 5. Honestly,
Okay.
4 out of 5. I thought it was a good start for Marvel, and I think the reason why I give it that is because of the character they picked to start this whole MCU journey with. The fact that they made it work, the fact that Robert Downey Jr. at that time was a recovering drug addict, alcoholic, and he became like the man of America during that time.
Yeah.
Just so many things just worked well for that film, and I think that's why for me it gets the rating that it gets, not just because what it does on the screen, but what the film just stood for the MCU. Because, like I said before on this podcast, if Iron Man would have flopped, we would not be where we are right now with the
It
MCU.
might have been the end of the whole Marvel comics. You know that.
Mm,
Marvel was on the brink of going under. And they took a chance with Iron Man because they had sold the rights to all their popular characters to other studios. So like, we'll take Iron Man. Let's see what we could do with him.
yeah,
And that's what they did. And oddly enough, um, Tom Cruise almost played Iron Man.
I heard about that. That would have been interesting. Don't know if I
It
would
would,
have liked it.
um, let's face it, dude. Can you name a Tom Cruise movie that you didn't like?
Yeah, but a superhero though.
Why not?
Yeah,
Is that what he's doing in Mission Impossible?
that's true. That's true. But I don't know. Maybe people would have liked it. We probably would have liked it.
I think
You
Robert
know,
Downey Jr. was the person to cast for that. Absolutely. But I don't think Tom Cruise would have done a bad job.
yeah, probably not a bad job, just not a Robert Downey Jr. type of job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just hope that with the way we started with the MCU with Iron Man, I'm just hoping that starting this new phase we can pick up because I feel like the MCU is it's kind of sluggish right now. Just not doing that great right now. I'm hoping that Deadpool and Wolverine can help revitalize the MCU. If not, if Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and it's just middle of the road film, I will be worried for the MCU. I will be a little
I'm
worried.
I'm not at the worried point yet. I'm at the cautious point. Um, I feel like with all their struggles with the TV series, they've learned a lesson.
Yeah.
They're like, we need TV people for TV, movie people for movies. Kane didn't work out. So Kang, excuse me, Kang didn't work out. Let's refocus. Let's get this thing going. Because the other rumor is the bad guy for Secret Wars might be Mr. Fantastic.
Really.
Yes, an alternate of Mr. Fantastic.
Mm.
And the other, listen, and again, rumors are rumors. Take them with a pound of salt, not even a grain of salt. The other thing is that they're saying they might introduce Miles Morales in Secret Wars.
Really? Wow. You know what? That might be the perfect time to do it.
I
I
think
feel
so.
like, yeah, I think that'd be perfect time. It gives them time because right now I think it's too late to throw Miles in the middle of all this. Right now, it's too late. They're trying to fix up everything that happened right now with them trying to pick a whole new bad guy, for Secret Wars. So I don't think they have time to include Miles in that right now. I think next phase is going to be about the Spider Verse, in my
Yep.
opinion.
They already said it's the Mutant Saga.
The Mutant Saga. Okay.
The Mutant Saga. And they even say that Marvel is ready with an explanation of why the mutants never showed up.
Really?
Yeah, and they're going to base it off the comic books that nobody likes mutants. And I've
Wow.
never understood that in a superhero universe.
Yeah,
Why do you hate people who are born with these powers, but you don't hate people who gain these powers? Isn't it all about being a superhero?
that's
Who
true.
cares if you were born with it or if you gained it?
That's true. Never thought about it like that. Actually,
Yeah. It's
never thought
supposed to
about it.
be like Magneto is supposed to be Malcolm X, and Professor Xavier is supposed to be Martin Luther King.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's their whole thing. But
yeah,
for a lot of it, if you read the comics, you think, man, Magneto was right.
yeah,
You do
yeah,
feel that sometimes.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, Iron Man did kick off the MCU. It was a huge gamble for Marvel. I think they did a great job.